now live. Dun, dun, dun. Just waiting on. Okay. What's good, everybody? This is your man, Brother Devin. Excuse me for the undershirt exposure. um, Tonight, I'm going to be uh, interviewing Kevin Wesley. I might not be able to necessarily. Okay, let me see something. Um, I just saw that. Oh wait. Um, oh. Let's see here. Uh, what is going on here? Okay. Okay. That's the okay. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So what's good, y'all? This is Brother Devin, and I'm going to be um interviewing Brother Kevin Wesley. Now, I sent in my questions. Oh, yeah. Give me 1 minute. I figured out how to do this. Let me see something. Okay, it's me. I'm just waiting on Brother Kevin Wesley to come through. Let me see. Maybe if I turn the comment on. All right. Wait 1 minute, y'all. I'll be right back. let me let me hit up brother Kevin. Hold up. Okay, okay, I see him. I'm just I'm just waiting for brother Kevin to come on through here. So we could begin this interview. All right, let me okay, all right, cool. All right, accepting. Hey,
King's King.
brother Kevin,
How you doing,
what's
man?
going on, my brother? I'm good. How about
Doing
yourself?
all right, man. I'm trying to find this light here. Might have to get a light and set it up. It's a little dim here. Didn't seem dim at first. It's bright in here.
That's good. Oh, okay, everybody. Everybody is welcome to join and listen in. I have questions already ready for brother Kevin Wesley here. Um, there there won't be any additional questions asked because I don't want this to be too long of a interview. I know brother Kevin here has some other engagements to tend to shortly after this interview. Uh, I do want to say uh, after this interview ends, you can definitely give out your contact information, your social medias, where people can find you. Is that all right? Is that all right? Is that all right with you, brother Kevin?
Sounds great. Sounds great, brother.
Alrighty, alrighty. So I took a screenshot of excuse me. I took a screenshot of the questions. I don't see where I can. This is confusing. You know they done changed Instagram so much, so it's hard for you to find certain things that you're looking for, like certain icons and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. You want to just read the questions that I sent to you, and you can answer them.
Sure. I don't mind.
Okay, cause
Throw this thing down here.
I'm playing around with this.
Never been on here before, man. Let's see
Okay.
what the buttons do.
It's all good. It's fine. Hey, when you're in the occult world of Brother Devin, my world is your world and your world is mine. You know what I mean? We're all sharing the same polarity and reality. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So that's all that matters. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all what. Those that's watching, I'm gonna turn off the comments so that I can focus on Kevin's face as I'm interviewing him. Uh, if you want to see the full interview in its entirety, you can log on to the Occult World of Brother. That's BROTHADEVON. The Occult World of Brother Devin on YouTube. All right. Okay. So yeah. Everybody, please don't take it personal. I'm just trying to ask Brother Kevin Wesley some questions that I wrote down for him. I wrote down for Brother Kevin Wesley a total of 28 questions and eight uh, what was that? Eight fun questions according to myself, brother Devin. So let
Yeah,
me turn the comments.
unfortunately your questions are in this phone. So can you access them?
Oh, um, this,
I can probably I can
this,
if you want me to read them, if you need access to them, I can send
yes,
them to my
yeah,
other
yeah.
phone.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll be perfect.
I'm just gonna.
All right, okay. Take your time. Take your time, brother. Okay. For those who don't know, I am a uh, metaphysical and occult science teacher. Um, I teach everything from metaphysics, alchemy, occult science, even mundane education. But I always like to put spiritual uh, significances into the things that I'm teaching. You know what I mean? So if any of y'all have any questions, uh, comments, concerns, new lecture ideas, and basically what I mean by new lecture ideas is oh, excuse me, what I say. What I basically mean by new lecture ideas is you would have to give me subjects and topics that you've never heard before. So yeah, you would have to give me a subject and topic that no one has ever heard before. So if and um I also do psychic medium readings as well. So if you would like any type of those services, you could email me at Brother Devin Occult Lectures at gmail.com. That's BROTHADEVONOCCULTLECTURES at gmail.com. All right? And I want to say yes, I am single, but let's keep it spiritual and non mundane. I don't want anybody trying to hit on me on my emails. You know what I'm saying? That ain't a good look for my
That's
for my
funny, man.
for my reputation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you hit me up on the DMs and the Instagram ladies, that's cool. But anything else pertaining to that, I want to keep it highly on a spiritual frequency.
That's
Uh,
hilarious. That's hilarious, man.
yeah. I'm always gonna make you laugh on this channel. Everything is not gonna always be on a serious tip. Some topics and subjects that I talk about, I do have to be serious and take into consideration. But most of the time, it's all fun and magic over here, baby. Fun and magic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as I always say in the beginning of every lecture or interview, it's magic time. All right, so let's get started with the interview. Uh,
Yes, sir. Let's do that.
Everybody, I want to introduce y'all to brother Kevin Wesley. How you doing, brother Kevin?
Peace, 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 Devin, man. It's a pleasure being on your platform, and peace to your chat, man. I hope you guys are ready for a good build, man. I didn't get a chance to look over the questions, so this is going to be organic as possible.
it,
All right,
it's
so
it's totally fine. Hey, let me tell y'all something, y'all. This is my first time actually doing an interview, and, and over time as I possibly interview more people, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do my best in I'm gonna do my best in uh knowing how to interview at early and appropriate times. So cut me some slack. This is my first time, okay? I'm still learning, okay?
Indeed.
And the same thing goes for enlightenment and everything. I don't know every damn thing, but I take what I need from the information and I do the best that I can with it.
Indeed.
Okay, that's wisdom, especially from
Mm-hmm.
brother Bobby Hemmett. Shout out to Bobby Hemmett. But
Indeed.
um,
Indeed.
but yeah, let's begin with the questions.
You got it, brother. Well, your first question is, who are you? Where are you from? And what is it that you do? So, who
Yes,
am I? Let's see. I am not my name. Um, I am not who I've attached my ego to. So I'll
right.
just say I am. I am that I am.
Uh,
Okay.
all
Um,
right.
I'm a fragment
I
of the
mean,
all learning itself. Okay, by
all right.
reflecting off of itself.
Yes. I mean, we already know you, Kevin Wesley. Like it's obvious, right?
But for those who don't know, the name ain't gonna describe who I am. You know what I
That's
mean? So, and
right.
most of us
That's
think
right.
that though we appeal to these names, but
Mhm.
most who get it will understand. I know a channel like yours, they understand. They get
Yes,
it.
they,
Where am I from? Where
yes.
am I from? I'm from Forest City, North Carolina, really small town. Um, Born and raised, really, really, really small town. You go in one side, you're coming out the other. As soon as you go in, right below
Shout,
Charlotte. Most people never heard of it.
shout out to NC. I got family down there.
Okay.
Shout out to my family in North Carolina and South Carolina too. Love
Hmm. Yeah,
y'all. Peace.
the whole
Hotel.
town could fit into the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. You know what I mean? It's only three schools. So small town, man.
Hmm.
What is it that I do? I inspire. I inspire and teach in any way that I possibly can. So I've delved into many different avenues of teaching, but everything that I do is with a purpose to try and enlighten us to just be more self aware and become our best self.
Hmm.
I think that's the best way to describe what I do. Your second question, Devin, if you're ready for the second one,
Yes. Go
okay.
ahead.
What inspired or influenced you to become a pastor? What made you deconvert, and why and how were you able to deconstruct your beliefs as now an ex Christian? Where did you start? So, what inspired or influenced me to become a pastor? Um,
Yes. That was the second
so
question for y'all, by the way.
yes, sir. So
Okay.
this
Go
is
ahead.
number two.
Hmm.
So I was inspired to become a pastor through my own pastor. I met him when I was around
Oh.
15 years old. I lived in the projects right across the street from his church, right? And I'd always hear their music. And eventually I started going over there to that church. I found a family there, a home there, and he was like my father.
Right.
He was very, very intelligent. The way he broke down the Bible and ministered the word was unlike anybody I had saw. Mostly, I'm from the country, so everybody was hooping and hollering. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean by that, right? Turn
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
Bible.
Right. Turn
See,
your Bibles
he
to
didn't do that. He just
John
like
3.
right,
Yeah.
and Jonah, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
start
He didn't.
singing and stuff.
Yeah, he talked just like we talk now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other churches scared me when it came to that type of teaching and stuff. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
seemed more like entertainment. And so
Right.
he actually
Okay.
just spoke to you, man. He was like I said, highly intelligent. Every time he speaks, I probably needed to learn what one of those words was that he said. You understand? And I meditate on that
Yes.
word all week. He was very smart, man. Inspired me to grow. But he always said that there was a light on me. I always felt that there was. I always had people who valued my advice and things of that nature. I was a leader, always people always wanted to follow behind what I was doing. And so my pastor
Mm-hmm.
believed, of course, I was chosen by God to be a pastor.
I
So I
say.
went into ministry early into my church years, probably around 17. I was already becoming a young minister,
Mm-hmm.
reading my word every single day, going to all the conferences. I got ordained through my own church, where I became a youth pastor by the time I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I youth pastored for many years until I became the assistant pastor. And
Hmm.
I ended up leaving religion prior to me having my own church. Um,
Yeah.
what the that was what inspired me. Then you asked me what made me deconvert. Woo,
Yes. Yes.
woo.
And how were you? Yeah. What I want to know what made you deconvert and how were you able to deconstruct that to make you say, oh,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, this is it for me. I really don't want to be a exoteric black Christian anymore.
Right. Great question too, man. It was the search for knowledge, Devin. It was the passion to be
Wow.
closer to God. It was the passion to want to know who God
Ashay,
was
you,
on another level.
mm,
And so people
right,
think that I
you,
didn't.
oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but I just wanted to, chime in and say you basically went through what I went through. And
Mm.
real quick before we continue on with the interview, I see someone posted a question. Um, I'm a hold, and it's probably for you, Kevin. So what I'll do is after he answers at least six of those questions, I'm gonna answer the person in the back's question, and then we'll continue on with the interview. Is that cool?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay. So, yeah, wanting to be closer to God, wanting to know
Yeah.
more
Yes.
about God, wanting to know God on a personal level,
Yes.
not just a literary level. You understand?
Right. Same.
So I
Same.
began to,
Same with me.
yeah.
Same with me. Hmm.
And of course, there's a lot of religions, right? So I wanted
Yeah.
other people
Oh
to
yeah.
know God.
Hmm.
I wanted other people to know my God as well, as I believed I had the one true God. But
Right.
can I how can I convey that, right? And so I wanted to prove that somehow they were wrong about their beliefs. So I researched their beliefs. I saw that they were based on faith, and then I had
Hmm.
to research my own, right? And
Right.
so what I learned after trying to research my own is that it was also based on faith. I looked for facts. I looked for the characters who are said to have existed in the Bible to actually exist,
Right.
and they did not actually exist. And man, that
Yeah.
took me for a toll. How to
Yeah. I broke down crying when I found out
a
Jesus
nervous.
wasn't real.
I had a nervous. I had a nervous breakdown as well.
Yeah.
Like, what does life mean now?
I
What
was
does life
like,
mean? Um, this
yeah.
idea that you're going to go see God when you die and that He's protecting
Yeah.
you and that your parents and loved ones went to heaven. My mother died young. So, of course, when I was young. So, of
My
course, I'm
my
believing that she's in
condolences.
heaven, with my God.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, all
Yeah.
these beliefs are now, these core beliefs are now just falling apart. And the deconstruction happened simultaneously. People think that I
Right.
chose to walk away from religion, but I always say, no, when you learn too much, it's impossible to squeeze your brain back into that small box. You understand? When I grew
Mhm.
up, the Bible
Mhm.
was the end all be all. You understood? I understood that as the book to our eternal life. There was no book greater. And then now I look at the Bible, it's a book. You see what I'm saying?
Like
Like just like other
yeah,
books. You understand?
just a regular mundane linear materialistic book.
Right now,
That
our thoughts towards this
yeah.
Bible, for most of us, especially black people growing up, and I can't say especially black people, I'm going to have to say this extends uh, regardless of your race or whatever the case may be, because white Christians are just as dumb to what the Bible says as black Christians. So let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's something about that book that we see it is so great we won't even open it and touch it. We think our brains are
Right.
not smart enough to grasp it, and
Yes.
it's just a book. You understand? It's not even. It's crazy because those thoughts are why we don't read it. And if you were to read it, you'll find inconsistencies, right? You'll find that it doesn't necessarily make sense, right? And you'll find that it's not trying to. It's
Right.
simply and
Look.
it's not exoteric. It's
Yeah.
esoteric, like you said.
Right. 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 And you know, I'm um I'm in the process of slowly but surely starting to move no, not a movement but an organization called TOT, and it's what Talib Kweli would call um, a backronym for theosophy over theology,
Yes.
meaning that I'm 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 meaning that instead of teaching people to take the Bible literally, and this scripture just came to my mind. I believe that's Second Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6, where the so-called Apostle Paul talks about um, not not taking the words of God for the letter, but for the spiritual meanings of what the manuscript or fundamentally speaking the scriptures is saying.
Yeah, and I think he stated that the letter kills, but
Yes,
spirit gives
that
life,
that
right?
part. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the letter kills, but the spirit gives life. This is why I'm so heavenly bent, not hell bent, but heavenly bent on on teaching people to how to uh, access and manifest the divine from within. Whether they choose the left hand path of darkness or whether they choose the left hand path of light, because we know that the right hand path is just normalcy,
Mm-hmm.
mundane linear human shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's all I wanted to comment on that. Go ahead.
No, powerful,
Next.
powerful. So you, the next part of that question was how was I able to deconstruct? I was going to
Yes,
say that
yes,
that happened not at
yes.
my own will, and I think it was the same with you. Like you said, you had a nervous breakdown. As much as you want to hold
Right.
on to your beliefs, they just collapse, man. They
Right,
do. It's
I want to interject what you said. I didn't really have a nervous breakdown. I was actually tired of Christianity
mm,
because of all the hypocrisy and the homosexuality and bisexuality going on within the black church. Um, um, I already put up my 3-part video autobiography on my occult world of Brother Devin channel, explaining my deconversion story. But for those that are here and don't know, I'll tell you a little bit of it in short, because I don't want to take over the whole interview. That wouldn't be fair to Kevin. but but anyway, I was studying to be both a youth pastor and music minister. So long story short, I want to say around, when was that? 2011. I found out my pastor, who you can also look up in Google. He was actually on Channel 6 Action News in Philadelphia, and he was sent to jail for um, MLSing one of his children. Um, and and then and then I found out I found out from a family member of mine. Give me give me oh, okay. Um, I found out from a family member of mine that oh, hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me 1 minute, yeah. My mom's hooking me.
You can understand.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you. I just told you to be quiet. I'm just trying to help
Oh, okay. Thank you.
you.
Here you go.
All right.
Yes. I'm looking at Kevin sideways, but it helps.
So it doesn't turn?
Yeah, in turns.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. You can fix it how you need to.
All right. Oh, that's perfect. I like the way you angled it too.
You're welcome.
All right, bye. Thanks, mom. Shout out to my mom. But yeah. She she knows how to help brother Devin. I've been her son for almost 34 years. Speaking of 34, real quick. Tuesday, April 16th is my solar return. So it'll be 34 years that this celestial prince has been traveling his ass 34 years around the sun. Okay?
This time around. This time around.
Yes,
Salute, man.
yes,
Happy early
yeah.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. But I was gonna I was gonna end my comment by saying that I found out that my pastor was giving was living a double life. You know, being straight towards his wife and children one minute, but you know, secretly being gay behind closed doors. And I didn't have a problem with him being gay. It was just the fact that he hid it. But see, you know, the year was 2010, and you know at the time the what was that policy, the don't ask don't tell policy was still, you know, relevant at that time. So you know a lot of people couldn't really come out and say whether they were gay, bisexual, or trans during that time.
Hmm.
It was it was only around the time when Barack Obama became president that it was actually appropriate and okay to, you know, do and say things like that.
Hmm.
Okay, but go ahead. Yeah.
What?
Real fast. Yeah. After I found out he was gay, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna, you know, leave Christianity altogether and just find mother and father God for myself.
Yes, sir. I saw a lot of things practiced in the church that I didn't agree with
Mhm.
either. Now, we didn't have any of that, but we had people who refused to back away from their American traditions.
Mhm.
And and even though the Bible would strictly say don't do them, right?
Yes,
Um,
I'm sure.
eating pork, even though the Bible says don't. And I was so upset because these people who said they love God didn't even care for what the Bible said. And
Right.
so that
And
that
that's
didn't
how,
make me want to
go
that didn't make
ahead.
me want to leave Christianity. It made me frustrated with people. And I said, you don't love God.
Yeah, that's
They
how I
they, they
was.
would all they would
Wow.
always say, God knows my heart, not saying He knows that you're full of it, and God knows that you don't truly love Him because you refuse to truly serve Him. You just with your mouth you say you love God, but your actions, man, you don't care what this Bible says. It's
Exactly.
crazy
Oh,
and it's
and you
sad.
right, and you know what black Christians you used to tell me all the time. Um, I even said this to my mom's pastor, as a now conscious person, but at the time I wasn't a part of the black spiritual community yet. I was still, you know, intergalactic, you
Hmm.
know, believing in extraterrestrials and things like that, which I still do today.
Hmm.
It's galactic. I'm still here, you guys, but and I ain't going anywhere. But anyway, the pastor, I called him out on something he said, and he going to tell me who cares what the Bible says, and I'm like, oh really, pastor? Well, if you don't care what the Bible says, then you don't really believe the things that you are professing. You're just in it for the bucks. You know what I mean? He might believe in scripture a little bit, but he ain't really following it like that. Because if you're gonna follow so-called God's word with all your heart, mind, soul, spirit, and strength, you're gonna do everything. You're gonna do everything that it takes to 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 follow those moral principles. even though in my opinion, as a independent cognitive psychologist, I would say there's a lot of bipolarism and schizophrenia and sophophobia going on within that book.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't recommend anybody be a Christian from that point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it messed my head up. It probably messed up yours to an
Mm-hmm.
extent, maybe.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, no, along with that, seeing that many of the pastors of the churches themselves,
Mhm.
they weren't that intellectually sound to even be doing
Right.
the
Yes.
position. And so I would notice that a lot of the testimonies of a lot of churches would say publicly their pastor couldn't read. Now they would
Mhm.
say this from the standpoint that um, they thought this was rare. They thought this was special
Right.
that their pastor couldn't read, but this is actually, I'd say, four out of 10, maybe, or 5 out of 10. You understand? They cannot read, and
Right. Right.
that bothers me because the Bible says, "Study to show thyself
Self
approved."
approve.
From a
Yes.
sense of interpretation, being able to read does not mean you cannot communicate and that you can't have a powerful word within you. However, religion is far
Right.
different. It's not up to you what you say, right?
Right.
It's only
Oh, I was just trying to say it's just like what Brother Ray Hagen, which is another part of my
hmm
questions in the interview.
hmm
It's just like what Brother Ray Hagen said. Um, religion teaches you uh, re, re, uh, in this case, Christianity teaches you um, uh, from the Christianity teaches you from a Christian's point of view uh, what uh, what God is from their point of view. It doesn't directly come from the paranormal energy or the superhuman, mythologically speaking, him directly himself. You get what I'm saying?
right. But see,
So
even if
yeah,
it did, even if the words in that book were inspired by God, if you cannot read, how can you study them? So for
right.
them to follow a
Especially,
man who
hmm
expressed that
go
he
ahead.
could not read, right?
Right.
If
Yes.
you're following a man who expressed that he cannot read, then how can
hmm
he study? The only thing he can do is regurgitate. He cannot read the work and divide it for himself.
Exactly.
And so when I would see
Exactly.
that, I would say that's something, but none of that made me want to leave Christianity. It was simply when I learned that there was no evidence. And so imagine this, Devin.
Right.
Imagine
hmm
you're raised and you're believing in Santa Claus. You're believing that Santa Claus travels the entire world in one night, giving gifts to every single good child, right? Bad children, he punishes with a lump of coal. And
hmm
Santa Claus has been around for an eternity and he's never going to die. So he's eternal, right? Now,
Right.
just think about this. As you grow older, you learn more about the world. So you start to realize that this idea is just not logical, right? Now, as a child, it's
Yeah.
easy to grasp this idea because you don't know the size of the world. So your ignorance is why it's easy to believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy, right?
Right.
So as you learn more about the world, it just becomes impossible to believe in Santa Claus. And you didn't willingly walk away from believing Santa Claus, right? You outgrew it. And it'd be
hmm
impossible for someone to try and convince you that this being exists, right?
Right.
Now that you know so much about the world, right?
Yes.
So a mythological being exists only to make toys. Like he don't fix anything else. Like it don't make any sense, right? I just want to know what kids give toys to. Now, when you're a
Right.
child, you don't rethink all these things because you have a smaller mind. It's a simple mind, right? So as we grow and we
hmm
start developing, critical thinking faculty, we're supposed to
Yes.
assess our world and make sure that
I'm
what we've
I'm
been taught lines up with it.
I'm big on critical thinking, common sense, and common knowledge. I was raised to think that way.
Right. So to that
Uh,
fact, I say I
yeah.
lost my beliefs. I didn't give them. I didn't willingly say, well, I'm just going to stop believing. Then I could no longer believe. You see what I'm saying? As
Right.
much as I wanted to, I couldn't. You see. So when I
Yeah.
walked away
Yeah.
from it, it was I cannot teach
Because you
something that I know I don't believe. I don't believe in it anymore.
right.
So
It was because you found a lot of fallacies within the literature that you were um, putting your faith in, and also, as Dr. Ray Higgins would say, when your faith when your faith does not line up with the facts, you need to let that faith go.
Mm-hmm. When what you are reading does not line up with reality, you have been deceived.
That's right.
That's one of his most powerful quotes. It has to line up with reality, man. And so it doesn't,
It
right?
really does.
Right. But what Christians a lot of times believe is that God is magic. They just replace it with all things are possible with God. So with God, all things are possible. So they do not apply critical thinking faculty to that specific book. But if you give them another person's religion, they'll tell you all the things that's wrong with it, right? You tell them
Yeah.
about a 7-day Adventist or any other religion. So John Smith is your main minister, and you believe that aliens gonna come from the sky. Yeah, it all sounds crazy without your belief, but you
All
believe
right.
somebody gonna come from the sky, right? You believe that. So hey,
Right.
however you want to spin it, right? You believe that Christopher
That
swallowed the world's sin
that's
and
the
turned blue. You believe Jesus
that
died for 3 days and rose again. I mean, we all
that
have beliefs.
that's just like if you say if someone was to say if you feed the spaghetti monster uh fruits and vegetables, it's gonna throw up meatballs. Well, when you know the spaghetti monster is fucking real.
Right. And how dare you for questioning the existence of the spaghetti monster, right?
Yeah. they'll,
Um,
they'll do they'll do anything to defend that system. I tell you. Go ahead, brother
mhm.
Kevin. Go ahead.
No. So
You,
it was pain. It was heartbreaking for me to lose my beliefs, and I felt like I was on the outside looking in immediately of the family that I grew to love, right?
right? Yeah.
And
Yes.
so it was very traumatizing for me because I felt that I could go to them with what I had learned and free them from false belief. But instead,
Yeah.
they saw me as a demon. They saw me as a devil. They saw me as an
Same
antichrist.
same with
And
me. Same.
right, so they because of all these boundaries that they've already had set up in their mind that anybody speaking against it is evil. Um, they couldn't help but to see it that way. And here I was thinking that I was about to go in and rescue them, right? And that's not what
Right.
happened. And to this day, many of them are still, Christians. Now, here's the kicker. Many of them has accepted
Mhm.
some of the truths that I came to learn back then, because many of them have moved on to Hebrew Israelite. I did that before I deconverted. I got the more serious you get about the Bible, the more you will begin to look Israelitish. Do you understand? Because
Right.
the way they practice is accurate to that book, way far more than Christianity. You understand? So
Right.
they actually got it right. As far as the literature, they got it right. You understand?
Okay.
And that's why I respect them, even though I don't believe the literature itself is true. But according to the literature, they're right. They should be celebrating just like Jews. They shouldn't be putting up Christmas trees. They shouldn't be eating pork. They're right. These things are true.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So um, it was very traumatizing. But that's how I deconverted. That's why, and it changed my life, man. It changed my life. I would say for the better. I,
Okay.
that being
Okay.
said, I can move on to your third question.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, it says, I see that you are in a polyamorous relationship. How did you meet the two beautiful wives that you are divinely connected to, named Lacey, aka Afia Rise, and Jamie Rise? And how were they interested in it? So, of course, I met Jamie when I was just a kid in high school. Okay,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
knew her since elementary, middle school, high school. We didn't actually start dating until we both had graduated, and we went to the same.
Mhm.
She ended up being at the same church I was going to, and so I still saw her.
Mhm.
Right, I used to
Mhm.
walk her home on Wednesdays when her parents had to work. She lived about a mile from the church, and we were just friends. And we grew closer
Okay.
that way. We grew closer that way. So we ended up becoming a couple. We had our first child at 18 years old, far before she and I were ready. And I stood up, rose up to that occasion. We got married at 20 years old, and we were married for about 15 years. And then
Right.
now during those 15 years, I got married super young, right? And so
Right.
married super young, and a lot of it was being a man because we had a baby together. Probably wouldn't have got married that young otherwise. She was about to go off to college, uh,
Mhm.
UNC Charlotte, UNC Chapel Hill, I believe she was going. And
Shout out to UNC.
Mm-hmm.
Respect to the
Yes,
black
yes, yes.
colleges. Much
Absolutely.
respect.
But so anyway, she had a future she was planning. I did too, but we got pregnant, right? And so
Hmm.
she again, I did what I was supposed to do. I stood up. We got married. Got a small apartment. I got a job, and I took care of my family. You understand? But it was hard back then for me, difficult because she was home,
Right.
and I took care of
Hmm.
everything. You understand? So I would get so frustrated with that because I would see other couples who both the husband and wives was working, and this is just coming from a place of I was just struggling with it was. I was a young man
Right.
that realized
Right.
that you being a utilitarian could be quite the burden when you're young, right? Nobody want to pay
Yes.
you enough. You don't have much experience, right? And you
Right.
don't have honestly much transportation. You just kind of figuring it out. So I did need help,
Right.
but we weren't in a
Hmm.
place to where she really could help. Let's be honest. If she went to work, then that daycare would probably cost her more than what she could even make. You understand? And so she stayed
Hmm.
home because that's what was reasonable, but it was difficult, right? Going through a lot of that, I was more reliant on my emotions as a young man, thinking that you're supposed to be madly in love to be married. And when I didn't feel
Hmm.
that, I would often meet with our pastor and question if we should be married altogether. We had many counseling sessions, but around 15 years in, it got the better of me, and I decided to leave. I felt that I was no longer in the romantic form of love, and I asked
Right.
her if I could just, leave, and I would still take care of my family, which I did. I left, and I still paid the bills. So she had stayed home for all those years, so I could make something of myself. By this time, I'm making really good
You
money. I'm in
you had
sales.
you had. I'm sorry. It sounds like to me you had that uh, internal desire to want to find yourself, to, uh, to seek knowledge yourself. Am I right?
Um, re- no, it was more like I was childish. I
Oh,
I was
okay.
a young man, not having my father directly in my life. A lot of things I didn't understand, and I was living
Right.
off of the
Right.
ideas that movies presented to me that you're supposed to be madly in love and life is just sunshine and rainbows and not something that you work to keep alive. So when I didn't feel those
Right.
feelings anymore, yeah,
Mhm.
right, like a person who's that's not manly to forsake your your relationship duties when you have married someone, right? You've asked them to be in your life forever, and they've sacrificed their life for you. And now, because you as a man don't feel like you love her no more, you're gonna leave her. That's
Mm.
crazy. You understand? Because it's not
Yes.
supposed to be based on some fleeting emotion that we call love,
Right.
right? And that love
Right.
exists in other places if you understand that early on frolicky type love that will subside. And after that, what do you have? You see,
Yeah.
and so it
You,
was at
you
that
don't
moment for me
you
in my
don't you
life,
don't
and
have
nobody
you don't
prepared
have
me.
nothing after that. Right.
Right. And so
You don't.
nobody where you have your experience, you have their character, you
Yeah.
have by now that's the mother of your children. And see,
Right.
I didn't look at that like that, right? So it was
Hmm.
if I don't feel this fleeting emotion that this just that little twinkle in your heart, whatever so to speak, passion, if you will, then the relationship must
Mm.
be over, right? And that was my childish mind. So I left.
Right.
I abandoned it.
Right.
That wasn't right.
Right.
So
Um.
and I think then I knew it wasn't right. And that's why I volunteered to still take care of her as a husband, even though I wasn't going to be in the home anymore. She had spent her life being home so I could work. You understand? And so I took care of my whole family. And so to leave my family would be wrong, of course. So I'll take care of the
Right.
financial things while you can go back to school or do what you need to do to get yourself on your feet button
That
up, right?
that makes sense. And I want to say this from the center of my heart chakra. I honor the fact that you didn't allow society to mind control you and dictate how you should live your life through pop culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yes, sir.
I honor and I appreciate that about you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you.
brother.
So
Thank
so
you.
so I did end up leaving. We stayed separated for about 5 years.
Mm.
In that fifth year is when I met the beautiful Queen Lacey. Okay.
Lacey, all right.
Yeah. So now, right as I was meeting Lacey, I was beginning to practice polygamy, looking for who I practice this with. Right.
Right.
Um, I would have these kind of conversations and things with Jamie as we would study together. And she's the mother of my children, so we still study together. we come across the
Mm-hmm.
topic of polygamy, she would say, I can see myself doing that. I can see the divinity in that. I can see how that
Right.
would work. And I would ask her, so in your next relationship, you could be poly? And she'd be like, yeah, I could be, you know? And so it was just a thought. It was just a conversation. Um, but I went on to meet Lacey. We fell madly in love with each other, of course. And there was other women that I did date, but I deemed Lacey to be completely just worthy of me laying my life down for her, right? So once I chose Lacey to be my significant other, the
Mm-hmm.
other women, they were so enraged. Um, you know, I guess, when you're dating like that, feelings do get involved, and them hearing that I wasn't going to choose them, it enraged them. They used the internet as a weapon, tried to ruin my name and things of that
Right.
nature. And I'm seeing,
Right.
and
We
I'm seeing
we
women
we don't
who,
we don't gotta. Oh, I was just trying to say we don't gotta speak on the troll farm. We already
oh no,
know it.
not at all, not
Right?
at all.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking about a
we
certain time in my life
yeah.
where just exes or women that I wasn't dealing with anymore, just kind of using the internet to weaponize it,
Right.
right? And
Right.
so in all of this, Jamie ended up calling me, right? And she just
Mhm.
gives me these powerful words of affirmation. I know who
Wow.
you are. Don't you let these people get to you. Kevin, you are an amazing man. And when I tell you all those feelings that I thought I had lost for her, they rekindled in that moment. And I said, what am I doing here? What am I doing trying to build new relationships with these women who are not the mother of my children? What am I doing here?
Right.
Right?
And
And that's when it hit me, man. I
they
already
don't
have a wife.
they don't even carry the same interest that you do. They just look at you, see you handsome, and all uh, all they might be focusing on is I want to fuck Kevin. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
they didn't show
all.
the character
Yeah.
traits of a woman that I'd want to be with forever anyway. And that's why
Right.
I was breaking it off. But Jamie
Right.
has always shown that she's always been very loyal. She's always been work withable. She's always been a very good nurturer for our children. I nurture her for me. Everything you can ask
Hey,
for.
shout out to
And
Queen
so
Jamie.
the only thing was I felt like I lost feelings. So it was like she
Right.
called and kissed the frog and turned it back into a prince because those words, man, awakened everything
Oh.
that I thought was dormant. And that's
Right.
when it hit me. And so I popped the question on her, would you consider, Polly, would you consider being with me again? And she said, Kevin, absolutely, I would be with you again. I didn't, I'm thinking like my fingers were crossed because I'm thinking,
Oh.
I done sit here and left you, went and dated other women. Like, why would you, And she was like, because she loved me and she understood the type of man that I was, right? And so
Right.
I didn't arrange for her and Lacey to meet. They did. They went and met each other, had a little dinner afternoon date. They sent me a picture
Excellent.
together. You know how girls do a little kissy fake duck
Hey.
lips together. Just they sent each other. They sent me those pictures, and I just lit up. I said, "Ooh, okay."
Right. Right. I know
So
that's right, brother.
we began to
Hey.
actually court and then talk about how we wanted our life to look and how our poly union would orchestrate. And we put
Mhm.
it together,
Mhm.
man. And it's been 4 years now, almost 5 years now. And Lacey and I, of
Woo.
course, have added a
That's
child to the tribe, and it's going amazing.
yes. Prince Prince of me.
Yes,
Prince of
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
And, and shout out to Queen Lacey too. Love you, Lacey.
Yes, sir. And the fourth question is
Yes.
okay. The fourth question is, what is conscious parenting like for you in your household, and what are some spiritual principles that you give and share to your own wives and children? Okay, and then what advice would you give another family who is just coming under spiritual consciousness, doing their best
Yep.
to develop a conscious parenting household?
That
Ooh,
that's the question I asked.
that is a good question, brother. Brother, you got some great questions here. Um, I would just say, uh,
Thank you.
what I would try to inspire other parents to understand is simply that
Hmm.
um, conscious parenting integrates spiritual principles, and
Yes.
you have to emphasize on self-awareness,
Hmm.
empathy, and open communication. And because you want to stay within the awareness, right? It
Yes.
shouldn't just be based on my rules, my way. We are all evolving, and you want your
Right.
children to surpass you. So always be open to conversation and understand how they
And
see things, right? So they say
indeed, indeed.
don't despise the voice of the youth. And I tell you, I see this as children are closer to God because they have yet to be desensitized and pulled away from it with things that we do and say. So children, when
Right.
you remember when we were children, we knew things were wrong, we knew things weren't right,
Right.
but
We
our parents
we
wouldn't
we
let us speak
it
on it.
was
And
a it was a basic instinct and intuitive feeling like, hold up, something's not right about this
hmm
moment I'm experiencing. Yeah,
hmm
it was just in us to
you
know
just you
something felt right
just
or if
know,
something
right? You
what.
just you just know when
Yeah.
your daddy's not there that he's supposed to be. You just know that's not right to be a family to abandon you. You just know this.
Right.
Nobody has to
My
tell you because you miss him and you long for him. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so
My
as
my my biological father neglected me, and I
mhm,
turned out okay. You know why? Because I leaned on my spiritual beliefs um
sure.
when nothing else was working for me.
Right. But I'm saying as
Yeah.
children, we know when our mothers don't treat us right. We know when they give us up, when that's wrong. We know when our fathers abandon us, it's wrong. So we're supposed to remember that and then do
Hmm.
differently by the time we have our own children. You understand? Because we are
Yes.
the better, we should be the better version of them. And so we always have to understand that we're
Right.
raising better versions of ourselves. So if you're going to raise your family to be in a conscious path, know that it takes every last one of you to evolve. And one day you're going to pass the baton to help to them, which you want to be a healthy mind that operates with courage, not because they're in fear of you challenging them, but they're even willing to challenge you if it means bringing about
Yes.
a greater path, and always with respect. But I send my children out into the world to learn based on the foundation I've given them, but also to build on that. And you may come back learning that I had some things wrong, and I want to know that so I can be better. You understand?
Right.
It's like when I went to school, I learned things that my grandmother didn't know, things like how to read.
Hmm.
However, she understood herbs and how to make preserves and what medicine was. She understood things I didn't know. Even to this day, I don't know.
Right.
So I went to school
Right.
and learned things she didn't. So a conscious home would take the best of both worlds. I'd be still yet willing to learn from her, even though I thought that she didn't know anything she was talking about because she couldn't read. And so therefore I missed out on a lot from my grandmother. She taught me things by with discipline like cooking and things of that nature. But I wish I'd have been paying attention to her preserving and canning and and the medicines when she could just go out and find plants and know what to do with it. I wish I'd have paid attention, you know. But a conscious
Right.
home just has to be vibrating in all angles, willing to grow. But that's the advice I would give. And let's just say conscious parenting for me, it's a beautiful thing. It has its challenges because you are essentially creating your own path, right? You're not just going off
Right.
of what your parents taught you. You're remaking it
Right.
real.
You're
I got
you're.
whoopings growing up. I
I
chose
did
to
too.
not use that same discipline on my children. I chose to use a different
Me,
form,
me
right?
either. Me,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't gonna be allowed in my household. I might live with my mama right now, but when I get my own place, especially because my myself and brother Damu, we plan on living together,
Mm-hmm.
and we even said that if we meet our soulmates and our twin flames together as spiritual brothers, we'll even start developing, positive and conscious parenting within our household.
Mm-hmm.
Because we might be black power oriented, but we are gonna be a positive parenting household.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't really do corporal punishment like that. I might give my son and a couple of my daughters a couple head pops, but other than that, I don't do that whole Willie Lynch stuff. Get that
Right.
out of here.
And they say that
Go,
spare the rod, spoil the child. And I understand that
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
last resort type of discipline. I can't
Right,
say I'm
right.
completely against it because some children can be really
Yeah,
blatantly disrespectful. But my thing is,
you ain't lying.
I right. But my thing is, I just wanted to, choose
Go
a
ahead.
way that I think that can optimize our thinking, our critical thinking faculty. I don't want them to learn a lesson because they got a whooping. I want to teach them why this is wrong and
Right,
the
right.
discipline to not do that
Yes,
again.
yeah.
Right.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right, right. Because that's the way my stepfather Andre raised me. And we are now. Hey,
Peace, brother. Peace.
we're back. We're back. I forgot. Instagram cuts you off after an hour.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And unfortunately, because I have something very, very important in early in the morning,
hmm
I don't have much more than an hour, so I can go a few more minutes. Okay,
Oh,
and we'll have to continue on a later date.
okay. Okay. That's perfect. Let me. Let
Okay,
me.
brother.
Let me just cut. Turn off the commenting. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put my phone on the little iPhone stand that I have, cause the big one I can navigate to. I just can't stretch it like my mom did earlier for me.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna use the little one.
Yes, sir. Okay.
But
Okay. Well,
go,
I'll start off with question 6, if you like.
okay, perfect.
Okay. Question 6 says, when I first saw you on YouTube, I noticed that you did Christian hip hop during your early years
hmm
as a rap artist. Let's see, when you were interested in Christian rap or Christian hip hop, who was your favorite Christian rappers? And actually, no, hang on. Yeah, I'm right. Okay. Um, who was your favorite Christian rappers and things of that nature as well? You put how did they motivate you rapping on behalf of Christian youth during that time period? So, okay, let me say this.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I skipped one. That's crazy. 5. It was 5. Now, I'll make it a one question because this would be easy. It says
Okay.
5 was, now, even though this is a spiritual education and enlightenment channel over here, we are also big on music. You're also known for rapping. Who's your favorite rapper or favorite rap groups? Who influenced you to rap and write rhymes? And what song did you hear that made you grow in love with hip hop or in hip hop culture? Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good question, man. So I'm an old man, yeah. I'm 41 years old.
Right.
Okay, so when I got enthralled with hip hop, it was during the Biggie and Pac era, right?
Hey,
Um,
it was all a
rappers,
dream. Yeah.
right? Rappers competing over their skill set, who was the best, right?
Mhm.
So that became my thing. It was like a sport, more so than artwork, just to get out your expression. And no, it was
Mhm.
where these rappers at, so I can eat them. Let me show you how much better I am, how good I am at something. It was the bragging. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I was the
So
exact same way, and I
right,
still am. I still am.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and
Go
it'll never
ahead.
die. I'll always remain
Right.
very competitive
Right. Yep.
because of when I started it. Right.
Mhm.
So I like Tupac, I like Biggie, and I like Biggie for his style, his lyricism. Biggie was a better rapper than Tupac to me.
Okay.
Tupac had a message though, right? Tupac had a very powerful message. But if you're talking about
Right.
word flips, puns, double entendres, just stylistic type rap, Biggie was on another level.
Word up.
If you're talking about, it don't have to be that fancy, but those words are going to be powerful. That's Tupac. You understand?
Right.
He's not about to yo you. Tupac ain't thinking of the dopest way he can say something. He's
Right.
just gonna
He
say it.
he
You
he
understand?
just he just gonna get straight to the point.
Right. If he were rapping, he probably wouldn't do the punchlines and word flips. It just probably wouldn't be his thing. Right.
Right. Right.
Um, but anyway, Jadakiss, Nas, of
Oh.
course,
Okay. Okay.
young Jay Z. Um,
Okay.
but when I really got into writing with deep, because you know how I write, you really put a lot into it.
Yeah.
Was honestly Eminem. Eminem's lyricism was on a whole nother
Shout out,
level to me,
shout out
and
to
he became my favorite
Eminem.
rapper. So Eminem is still my favorite. I don't think that there's been anybody better than him at the art of lyricism. I just don't see it, man. He's just amazing to me. Every time
Right.
I hear him again, he reminds me of why he's so freaking amazing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
Right. I got respect for Eminem too, man. Um. As I ain't going front when I was a little kid in '96, as a 6 year old, I was hating on Eminem. I was like,
mm.
man, who the fuck let this white boy in the hip hop culture
but
fucking
he,
it up?
when you listen to him, you can't deny it.
Right, right, and
Right.
as I got older, I began to res- respect and accept Eminem more. I mean, cause shit, my thing is if we're gonna dog him, you might as well dog MC Search, Vanilla Ice, and the Beastie Boys too. If
Sure.
we're gonna talk shit about him, we might as well talk shit about the other ones.
Yeah. But when you talk about just if you remove skin color and you could just hear these people on a track, Eminem, man, you can tell that this man sits there and puts a lot into his music. You can tell by the way he writes. It's absolutely unreal. It's unreal, man. To me, he's always taking me somewhere. But then Royce the 5'9", he's amazing. There's a lot of great artists out there, but
Shout
um,
shout out shout out to Royce.
but who was my favorite Christian rappers? I ain't really have a
Hmm.
favorite. I did like Lecrae and Trip Lee. Uh,
I knew you was gonna say Lecrae. Something told me that you was gonna say Lecrae.
Lecrae was your most lyrical, rap Christian
He
rap artist.
was
What I got from a lot of Christian rap, and it didn't entice me much because they would still be kind of rapping like the old way. They rapping
secular.
about
Yeah,
cars, money, and clothes
right,
and
right.
things like that. But now they doing it
Yeah,
for God. It just
right, right.
wasn't anything to it.
And now check this out, Kev, and those watching. You got Christian rappers that saying nigga in their songs.
Right. Uh-huh.
Now see I used to listen to the gospel gangsters heavy as a teenager. So
Mm-hmm.
and I understood their testimony as as ex convicts because they were ex Crips, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they were Crips and convicts and stuff. So I could understand them saying nigga within their gospel songs because for them it wasn't just about loving Yahweh and Yeshua Hamashiach because and I'm saying it like that because I knew that Mr. Solo and Chili Baby they were Orthodox Hebrews,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like when they were saying nigga in their songs, somebody interviewed Mr. Solo on that one time. They asked him like, why do you use the N word in a lot of your gospel rap lyrics? And his response was, shit, why does Paul Mooney say nigga? And when he said that, I couldn't logically grasp it, but emotionally, I felt what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, so, and he was an ex Crip, Rip. Shout out to the Crips in California, and happy transition to Mr. Solo of the legendary Gospel Gangsters. You know what I mean? That's my brother right there. He be coming to me in my dreams and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
they even got this song that I like that they wrote called Conscious. They wrote that back in 2006. I still listen to it to this day. You know what I mean? And
Yes, sir.
shout out to City to Mac and respect to Chili Baby as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what was the other questions you wanted to read and answer
Let me see
before
here.
you left?
You you had another question here. I was gonna try to show you guys. Let's see. I find it. Hey man, you have time for me to show one of my Christian songs?
Yes, go
All
ahead.
right. So we'll end it with this, and then we'll continue next time on with question seven
Yeah,
from there.
yeah. We come. Uh, the live video we're doing now is part two, but part two of this interview is coming soon, y'all. And we'll let y'all know when that pops off. All right.
So hang on. Let me do this. To me, I'm right now. I'm off my earbud. So tell me if you can hear this. Well, let me just go ahead and well, you should be
Okay.
able to. So here we
Okay.
go.
Let's do it. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. Yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, Cap. I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it. Woo!
You
You
can't
call
you can't tell me I ain't giving them bars
right,
though.
right, and they can't tell you that you wasn't a believer like I was at one time.
Absolutely.
What? This 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 nigga Kevin Wesley cold, man. Man,
Thank brother.
I love it, but the first time I heard you rap, you were just coming out of Christianity, and you wanted to share one of your Christian rap songs, and then I saw another video where you were freestyling in your car. I was like, oh shit, okay, that was tight. And I was like, man, I would love to do something with this guy one day, and it's definitely gonna happen, y'all. You you might not hear any Christian rap from us anymore, but you'll definitely hear some conscious rap from us. You know what I'm saying? We're about awakening and elevating minds
Right.
to the individual's highest potential.
And you
You know what I'm saying?
guys gotta
So
understand this was 13 years ago.
yeah,
13 years
yeah.
ago. So I've
I
been conscious for
go
7
ahead.
years. Now I've been conscious for 7 years. Was 13 years ago. So
Right. I've been conscious for I've been conscious for not I've been conscious for 9 years.
that's amazing.
February February 2020 um February
You know what?
2014 is when
Yeah,
I
7 years. I'm right. I'm right.
yeah February
33. I was 33 when I woke up. I'm 41 now. So
okay
7 or 8 years. Hmm.
okay yeah February 2014 is when I came into the the Black Comedic community, and you know I've been dibbling dabbling in metaphysics, occult science, and occult culture
Hmm.
um, ever since. And I've been a star seed. Well, I like to preferably label myself as a star adult. I've been a star adult since 2012, all the way to right now. I'm just not ready to teach the intergalactic side of things just yet. It's coming
Yes,
though.
sir.
It's coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I look
Yeah.
forward to it, brother, and I look forward to this next build as well. I got to get going, but
Yeah.
man, it was a pleasure coming onto your channel. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad to be your first interview. Okay,
Yes.
so Marcus is
Yes.
number one.
Thank
Okay, and
you.
we'll do part two soon, man.
Oh yeah, part two of this interview is coming soon, y'all. And please when I upload both of these videos to YouTube, tag Kevin Wesley in this, please subscribe to my channel, and don't just subscribe to mine, subscribe to his. You know, I'm all about unconditional love, so you know let's continue to spread it. Share his content as much as you share mine. Even though you know, I cuss with mines, and you know that's how Brother Penny taught me. You know what I mean? Be spiritual, but at the same time, you know, talk that masculine sass. You know what I mean? Talk that sass, nigga. Talk that sass. Pop a back, pop a back. Um, so yeah, man. Part two of my interview with Kevin Wesley is coming soon. Stay tuned, and we also got more lectures and other content coming for y'all on my channel as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, new lecture ideas, and if you want a free consultation from your man Brother Devin over here, you can email me at brotherdevinoccultlectures@gmail.com. Again, that's brotherdevinoccultlectures@gmail.com. All right, and I'll be and you, hey fill up my mailbox, please. I don't have a whole lot of emails. I would like to get some, but you know, please fill it up. Any questions you have about my content and what's on my channel, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. All right. I want to thank y'all for watching. Kevin Wesley, thank you for coming, man. And we'll see you next time on the Occult World of Brother Devin. Six sorry.
Again, brother. Much love. See you soon.
Much love. See you soon. It's magic time, y'all. Peace. All right. Thank y'all for coming. I'm out, y'all. Peace. I gotta go eat. For any questions, comments, new lecture ideas, and consultations, please email me at brotherdevinoccultlectures@gmail.com. Again, that's brotherdevinoccultlectures@gmail.com. BROTHADEVONCCULTLECTURES@gmail.com. Thank you. If you would like to send me some money, hit up my Cash App at $I am Devin H. Again, that's $ I am Devin H. Any amount of money will do. I don't care if it's $1 to $100 or more. If you feel like giving, send it on over. All right. Next, my Rumble channel. For exclusive content that you won't see on YouTube, you can follow me on Rumble at Fury Jones 333. Again, that's Fury FURYJONES 333 on Rumble. All right? To see exclusive content that you won't get anywhere on YouTube. And I'll be posting here periodically because it takes a long time to upload a lot of videos. All right? Peace.